رسول الله.
MashaAllah.
صلى الله عليك وعلى آل بيتك المظلومين.
MashaAllah.
صلى الله عليك يا مولاي وابن مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة، يا غريب ويا مظلوم كربلاء، ما خاب تمسك بكم وأمن من لجأ إليكم، يا ليتنا كنا معكم ساتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، وصلى الله وسلم على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، زينة خلائق أجمعين وحبيب إله العالمين، المصطفى الأمجد والرسول المسدد أبي القاسم محمد، اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين، شموس المسالك وأسود المعارك. قال إمام علي بن الحسين زين العابدين عليه السلام: من عرفني فقد عرفني، ومن عرفني فلم أغرفه بنفسي، مات والله إنه كان غفورا رحيما. صلوات محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد اجل فرجهم.
From where we left off yesterday, we were discussing the entrance into the city of Kufa. We know after the 10th of Muharram, the army of Yazid, they decided to take the women and the rest of the children, including the young, as captives. We know that on the 11th they arrived in Kufa. On the 11th of Muharram they arrived in Kufa. However, what Ibn Ziyad wanted to do was, he wanted to keep the Al Muhammad waiting outside of the city of Kufa. Like we mentioned yesterday, in the time of the Arabs, the main cities were all boarded. The main cities had big walls and they had big gates by the entrance of the city. So what Ibn Ziyad ordered was that the captives are to wait outside of the city. Why did Ibn Ziyad want the captives to wait outside of the city of Kufa? Because he wanted to decorate Kufa. He wanted to decorate the city. He wanted to let everybody know that these, according to him, these rebels, these thugs, and these enemies of the Amir, which was Yazid to them, they have gone against his regime. So I want the captive to wait outside of the city, so we have time to decorate Kufa, to decorate the area. Also, we mentioned yesterday that Ibn Ziyad made a condition. The condition was that nobody is to bring swords. Nobody is to bring weapons. He knew if the people brought weapons, they brought swords and spears and whatnot, then there is a chance that they will rebel against him. There is a chance that they will fight against Ibn Ziyad. And there is a chance that they would go against the regime. So Ibn Ziyad said to the people, don't bring any swords. Don't bring spears, swords, shields. Don't bring anything of this nature. I don't want anything to start in the city. I don't want any rebellion to happen, for anybody to go against our ruler. We don't want this happening. So they made the captives, they made the Imam alayhi salam wait outside of the city of Kufa. We also mentioned yesterday, it was not a direct route from Karbala to Kufa. There was no direct route. This is mentioned in the books of history. There's a book by the name of Taqi al-Khawas. where it mentions the route of the captives. They did not go straight to Kufa. They went from Karbala, they went to Halab, they went to Mosul, they went to different areas before they reached Kufa. So it was not a straight direction to Kufa. It was very difficult for captives. It was very difficult for the Imam's family. It was very difficult for the Imam. So you have to remember the Imam alayhi salam, the women, the children, they were all chained and they were being dragged. It wasn't a journey of comfort, a journey of peace. The Imam, the women, the children were constantly harassed by the people of Yazid. They were constantly abused by the people of Yazid. So as they entered Kufa, the people of Kufa, we mentioned yesterday that they threw dates and bread. They threw dates and bread at the children, and because the children hadn't eaten anything, they decided to pick up the dates and bread. The dates and bread which were being thrown, they were picking them off the floor. Sayyidah Kulthum alayhi salam, she saw that the children are picking up the dates and bread. So she decided to grab the dates and the bread from the hands of the children and she threw them away. Why did she throw them away? Why didn't she allow the children to eat? Sayyidah Kulthum says to the people of Kufa, "O people of Kufa, sadaqah is haram for us. This charity you are giving is haram for us, is not allowed for us." So she decided to grab the bread and the dates which the children were picking up and she threw them away. The trials did not just start from Sham. We hear from the ulama, we hear from the scholars that when Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, when he is asked about what is the one thing that you remember still, is it Karbala? Is it the killing of your father, your brothers, your family members? He said no. He would say Ash-Sham, Ash-Sham, Ash-Sham. The Imam would remember Sham. Why remember Sham? It's because of what happened in the palace of Yazid, what happens in the markets and the bazaar of Sham. But these same trials and tribulations, they fell upon the Imam and the captives in Kufa as well. When the Imam was walking through the streets of Kufa, when they were being paraded, Sayyidah Zainab says that I saw people throwing stones at us. People were throwing stones at the Imam. People grabbed spears and they started to poke Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam. People would throw boiling water on the head of the Imam. Whatever these people find, they would throw it at the Imam. And what was the reason for this? The reason because the corruption of Islam. The corruption and the religion had been watered down to the point where people didn't recognize Muhammad. It took a Syrian man, a man from Syria, who came to the Imam, and he said to the Imam, "Who are you? Who are these people with you? Is today a day of celebration? Is it a day of Eid for us today? Should we be happy?" The Imam said to him, "Oh man," the man was an old Syrian man. He said to him, "Have you read the Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةِ فِي الْقُرْبَى?" The man said, "Yes, I've read this verse." The Imam asked, "Who is this verse about?" He said, "This is about Muhammad." He said, "This verse is about Muhammad." Then the Imam replied to him saying, "نَحْنُ هَذِهِ الْقُرْبَى." We are this qurba. This family that Allah has ordered to love, we are this qurba. The Imam asked him again. The Imam said to him, "Oh man, have you read the verse? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمُ الرِّجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ وَيُطَهِّرَكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا." The Imam said, "Have you read this verse?" He said, "Yes." Again, this is Muhammad. He said, "Then we are the Muhammad. We are the family that Allah has purified. We are the family which Allah has removed impurities, najasa, sin All types of mistakes are away from us. We are this Al Muhammad. Then the Syrian man realized that Al Muhammad. The man then asked the Imam, who are these heads that we see on spears? There is this one specific head which is glowing of nur and light. Which is this head? Whose head is this? He said, this is the head of the grandson of the Prophet. This is Hussain ibn Ali. And the man said, Hussain ibn Ali has been killed? The Imam said, yes. He said, then who else are these heads? These other heads that are following the Imam? He said, these are the heads of his 18 family members, his companions, his friends. They have all been killed. So because of the corruption of the religion and the corruption of the rulers, like Yazid ibn Muawiyah, like Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan, these people had corrupted the religion. These people had watered down the religion. So the Ummah had become so low that they did not realize Al Muhammad. They did not realize these people. So this happened in the Bazaar of Kufa. This happened. It is said that they stayed in Kufa for the next 7 days. 7 days or so. According to the historians, they stayed in Kufa for 7 days. Whilst they were in Kufa, the Imam alayhi salam, Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam, Sayyidah Kulthum alayhi salam, they gave sermons. They gave khutabat. They gave, you could say, lectures. They made the people realize who we are. Because again, the people did not know who these people are. Who is this person in chains? Who are these women? Who are these children? They did not know. So the Imam decided to give sermons at every stop. When they stopped at Halab, they stopped at Mosul, Kufa, Sham, they gave these sermons, these khutbahs. Why did they give these sermons? Why did they just stay quiet and go through the pain? So the people started to realize who these people are because of these sermons. In the courtyard of Ibn Ziyad, they arrived in the presence of Ibn Ziyad. In the books of history, his name has been written as Ibn Marjan. Ibn Marjan, which is known as Ibn Ziyad, the Imam came to his court. The Imam came to his court, and the Ibn Ziyad, he asked the Imam, who is this man? Who is this Ibn Ziyad? The Ibn Ziyad was the commander in Kufa. He was the one in charge in Kufa. He was one of the followers of Yazid. So Ibn Ziyad asked, who is this man? Who is this man who is ill and he is walking with a stick? The Imam replied by saying, I am Ibn Hussain. Now the way Ibn Ziyad replies shows their hatred for Al Muhammad. They knew Ibn Ziyad, Umar ibn Sa'ad, Yazid, they knew these people. They knew these are the children of Muhammad. These are the people of Al Muhammad. So how Ibn Ziyad replies? Ibn Ziyad said, you are Ali ibn Hussain? Imam said, yes. Ibn Ziyad said, didn't Allah kill Ali ibn Hussain? Didn't Allah kill Ali ibn Hussain? The Imam replied by saying, no, I had an elder brother. I had another brother whose name was Ali ibn Hussain. We know the name Ali al-Akbar, the brother of Imam Sajjad. His name was also Ali ibn Hussain. In the Ziyad recite, we say, Assalamu ala Hussain wa ala Ali ibn Hussain. So this was the brother of Imam Sajjad. So Ibn Ziyad said, didn't Allah kill Ali ibn Hussain? Imam Sajjad said, no, Allah did not kill Ali ibn Hussain. It was you who killed Ali ibn Hussain. So the Imam said this to Ibn Ziyad, and in front of his goon cronies, he said this to him. And he said, no, you killed Ali ibn Hussain, you killed my brother. Ibn Ziyad again insisted. He said, no, Allah killed Ali ibn Hussain. Imam Sajjad replied by saying that death is given to someone with the permission of Allah. When Allah wants to take the soul of someone, that is Allah's permission. That is Allah's duty. It's when Allah chooses. So the Imam replied, and he said, no, you people have killed my brother Ali ibn Hussain. So for the third time, Ibn Ziyad got angry. He got angry, he got upset. He said, no, Allah has killed Ali ibn Hussain. Allah has killed Ali ibn Hussain. So because Ibn Ziyad got angry with the way Imam Sajjad spoke to him, when Ziyad was angry, he said, no, Allah killed him, we didn't kill him, just throwing statements at him. Wants to get the last word in. People argue, for example, they want to get the last word in. I want to be the last one to say something. This was this Ibn Ziyad. He wanted to say the last word. So he was upset and he was angry with how Imam Sajjad replied. So what did Ibn Ziyad say? He said to his cronies, he said to his followers, he said, go to him and behead him. Kill him right now. Because of the way you have spoken to me, I want him beheaded right now. I want him killed. Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam intervenes. Now in this small conversation you can see the Silatul Rahim. I mentioned this was one of the topics of the 10 Majalis, Silatul Rahim. The family bond between the Imam and his auntie Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam. Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam said, he said, aren't you satisfied already? Aren't you satisfied that you have spilled our blood? So can't you spare us, which are us who are left? The few that are left, can you not spare us? Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam says, if you want to kill him, but you have to kill me as well. If you want to kill Ali ibn Hussain, you have to kill Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam. The people started to speak in the court of Yazid ibn Ziyad. They started to talk. They said, you kill the Imam or Ali ibn Hussain and you kill which are with him, then the whole of Kufa, the whole of Medina, everybody will rebel against you. Because it is not manhood of a man to kill a woman. It is not something which a man who claims to have manhood, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this Ibn Ziyad, I have this palace, I have this army in Kufa, he would not kill a woman. Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam and the Imam, everybody would rebel against him. All of Kufa would go against him. So these sermons, these small sermons which were given in different stops, they made the people aware. They made the people aware who this Imam is, who is this so-called grandson of the Prophet, who this son of Sayyidah Fatimah Zahra alayhi salam is. The people realized who these people are. And it was also the sermons which were given in front of Yazid. There were sermons which were given in front of Yazid as well. It wasn't just a sermon in front of Ibn Ziyad, it was a sermon in front of Yazid. The sermon, just a few points. The sermon which was given in Sham in front of Yazid, this sermon of the Imam was so strong that the people of Yazid, the people around him, started to cry. The people around Yazid, the cronies of Yazid, they began to cry themselves because they realized what this mess that we have made ourselves in, this huge problem we have made for ourselves. All of the people of Yazid started to cry. They started to cry loud. And it was because of the sermon of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, because of the sermon of Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam, because of the sermon of Sayyidah Kulthum alayhi salam. These sermons shook Yazid's palace. This sermon which was given, it wasn't a very lengthy sermon, very 1 hour, 2 hour sermon. The Imam had to give a short, concise, summarized sermon with all the virtues of Muhammad, the virtues of Rasulullah, the virtues of Ali ibn Abi Talib, the virtues of Sayyidah Fatimah Zahra, the virtues of Al-Hassan and Hussain. These virtues were given in a short, concise sermon. Not in a very long sermon where the people would get bored, they would get tired, they would get fed up. The Imam spoke in a way where the people would understand. The people They understood the sermon. They clearly understood because they started to cry. The people around Yazid started to cry. Why did they cry? That means that the sermon didn't go in one ear and out of the other. It went in one ear and stayed in their minds. It stayed in their mind that this is the grandson of Rasulullah. We've killed the grandson of Rasulullah. We have taken his son as captive, his women as captives, his children as captives. So we have made this huge mistake. This is why they started to cry. Because of the mistake and the wrong that they had done to Al Muhammad. So inshallah, the sermon that was cited in Sham, this will be tomorrow's muhadar, this will be tomorrow's topic. And in the lecture, the Imam, you can see that he gives points on each virtue of the Ahlul Qissa. Virtues of Rasulullah, virtues of Ali ibn Abi Talib, virtues of Fatima Zahra, Al-Hasan and Hussain. And the Imam concludes with the killing of Abu Abdullah. The Imam concludes on how you massacred the flower of Rasulullah. As the Imam said in another stop, when they asked him, why are you crying constantly? Even after, in the last moments of Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam, Imam al-Baqir was with him, his son. Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam was next to his father, Imam al-Sajjad. And Imam al-Sajjad was crying constantly. He was still weeping. 35 years go past Karbala, and he still cries and he still weeps. Imam al-Baqir asked him, my father, why are you crying? He said, because my son is on my chest. He is on my chest. My son is with me. My son is with me on my last moments. The reason why I am crying is because on the last moments of my father, no one was by his side. No one was by the side of my father's last moments. And the enemies of Allah were sat on the chest of my father. You are sat on my chest. My son, the Imam after me, is sat on my chest. And he is next to me. However, the one who sat on the chest of my father were the enemies of Allah. They did not give remorse to my father. They did not give him water. They did not give him food. They dragged him around. They made him run from place to place. They made the Imam exhausted. Then they martyred my father. They had no raham. They had no mercy on my father. But my son shows me mercy. My son gives me water before I die. My son gives me food before I die. But nobody gave food to my father Abdullah. Nobody showed mercy to my father Abu Abdullah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept this gathering in remembrance of Sayyid al-Sajideen, Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the motivation to study the life of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, to understand their seerah and to implement all the messages in the seerah of Ahlul Bayt in our life so we can be practical. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وصل اللهم على